Okay, so I always bring you along on every single thing that I'm learning, and lately something insane clicked with me. So I have to share it with all of you. I've been diving deep into Neville Goddard's stuff, specifically that whole reverse theory situation. So what I've learned basically so far is about your 3D reality. So your 3D reality is just your old, it's like things from your past are showing up now in your 3D reality, things that are in your subconscious. Things that are showing up in your 3D reality right now, they're basically irrelevant. Why are they irrelevant? Because they're all from your past subconscious beliefs. And the only reason they're showing up right now is because to confirm or affirm all of your subconscious beliefs. Now, what you can do is be more of the observer. So when something comes up, pay attention to how you're feeling and what story you're telling, because everything that comes up in reality is neutral. Okay, it is neutral, and you're the one that gives it some type of meaning or story behind it. And those stories are the thing that continues to manifest because you're giving it something extra than it just being what it is. Because everything has the potential to be anything, basically. And you can shift and change and transform that. So this is how you reverse things. If something comes up in your 3D and you're noticing that you don't like it, you can change the meaning and story behind it. And therefore, in your future, your 3D will change into the new story and meaning that you were giving it. Okay? I can give you like maybe an example, something like that happened today that like whatever, don't judge. You could judge, whatever. It was like today, let's say the gardeners were here at my house and they were doing their thing. And then I was getting ready to leave. I was loading everything into my car. They were blocking my driveway. So I couldn't leave, but I didn't care. I was still doing my thing. I was still unloading, loading the car, doing whatever I needed to do. I wasn't ready to leave that second. And then in my mind, I was like, oh, I hope they, notice me and they just move it without me having to ask them to move it. Cause anyway, so I noticed that they did. They packed up their stuff because they noticed me doing my thing, and then they end up leaving. Now my brain, for some reason, just automatically makes up a story because your brain just has to, rationalize, or, there needs to be a story for your brain. Your brain just can't witness something and just like be blank. So my brain, for some reason, which I'm glad it did this, was like, oh, they must have just like, they don't like me. They don't want to talk to me. Really weird. I mean, I don't really talk to them that much anyways, but like they don't want to talk to me, and they packed up and left my house before they even finished, let's say, doing their job. And they just left because they saw me. None of that is true because I didn't even double check, and they always finish their job and do it. Like literally none of that was true. That was all some weird made up thing that my brain did. Like literally makes no sense. But the thing is, now that I've been doing this work, I thought about it and I was like, okay, I'm glad this came up, or, I'm glad I noticed this. So like, let's shift it and transform that. That's not it. So I told myself, I said, wow, everything just really, really works out for me. Everything is always in perfect timing. Just as I was ready to leave and loading my car, they had already finished all of their work, did everything exactly the way they needed to do, and they left before I even sat in my car to leave. Like, wow, I'm so lucky. Wow. Like, the universe is always in perfect timing. And I totally shifted, transformed, and changed that. And that is like, just like a random example of like how that actually worked for me in a way. And I've been kind of doing that all day long. You know what I mean? Again, with like, let's say I went to Trader Joe's with my daughter and, brought the stroller, whatever. Not all my items fit on my stroller. So I was just holding one thing with my hand and whatever, exiting. The lady that bagged my stuff, she's like, oh, do you need help? I can call someone to help you. And I said, no, I'm good. I can carry this. Number one, because of the law of receiving, I should have said yes, please, because I'm getting in that receptive mode. But I didn't. I said, no, it's okay. I can do it, right? Okay. So I'm exiting, and then right before I get to the door, another lady that works there was like, hey, do you need help taking that out? Again, I said no. We're switching that up. But I said no. And then she's like, no. She basically insisted. She's like, no, let me help you. Like, I want to get out there. I want to get to some sunshine. I was like, okay. And I like really loved her vibe and energy. So I was like, okay, cool, Leia, let's go. Because my freaking brain is like, oh, I don't want anyone to go out of their way for me. I don't want to burden anybody. It's like, no, princess energy. Like, yes, please. Thank you. Anyway, so then we walked and I really liked it because like, she's like, oh, I love the pink flowers. Like, I'm loving that feminine energy. I'm getting tapped into that. So basically we were in alignment on some level because we could connect and relate on certain things. So that was all divine and aligned. And it was great. She walked me, whatever, put the stuff away, whatever. I said, thank you so much. Nice meeting you. I think her name was Nayeli. I love to get people's names. Anyways, so she left. And then I was telling myself the story or whatever. And I was like, wow, the universe really supports me all the time and insists on supporting me. Literally, even if I say no to the support, it doesn't care. It like demands, insists to support me. And I'm always connected and like meet people that are aligned with who I am and at my level and frequency. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm noticing the things that I like and want to continually create. And that's what I'm doing. Now, granted, I just really started doing this today because all of this just like really clicked with me today. So that's why I'm bringing you along with me on this whatever journey, because that's just who I am. If I learn something, like I want to share that with you. I want to help like anyone that I can help. And trust me, I do this in person too. Like the girl that works at this play place or whatever, I was telling her like, oh my God, have you heard about Neville Goddard's blah, blah, blah. She's like, no. I was like, oh my God, you need to go watch these videos and you need to go do these things. And like, she's like, oh my God, I'm going to check that out. Yes. Because like, I can't help it. You know, like I love learning things that like my heart wants to learn. And then like, once I learn it, I just can't shut up about it. Like I have to tell people about it, and that's just like, it's just a part of who I am. It's like me breathing. Like I just can't not do that, you know? And like, I love to share the knowledgeable wealth that I have to offer. And I'm always learning and I love learning. So like, it's endless. I'll never, ever, ever want to stop learning. That's like also part of who I am. It's like breathing for me. So it's like a really great system that I have going here. So yeah. So the 3D world is kind of irrelevant, but also your best friend, because all it's doing is reflecting who you are basically subconsciously. So instead of getting mad or upset when things are happening that you don't like, take it as an opportunity to be aware of it and then to transform and shift it into whatever you do like, and say a new story behind it. Not like a story, but give it a new meaning, like shift it and transform it to something that you do like. And just try it out and let me know how it goes.